Hey, good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Um, Glad you guys could join us tonight on those various outlets. And tonight's show is called Dating Pros, Cons, and Horror Stories.
Ooh.
The phone lines is open. Um, Tonight we were supposed to have two more guests, but unfortunately, right now they can't join us from because they have prior engagements. Hopefully, they might be able to join the show in progress. And this may be part one to a couple of shows. So this may just be part one where we address this issue. Um, I'll tell you, if y'all was privy to the background conversation that we was just having, this is why I got this smile on my face because whew, I'll tell you. But tonight we have our usual co-hosts Keisha and Shakita. What's going on, Keisha? You on mute right now? What's going on?
Yeah, nothing, just drinking my wine.
Okay, okay. Um, what's up, Keita?
Hey, hey.
How's everything, y'all?
Good.
Going.
Um, Shakita, because I ain't gonna say you wanted this, you wanted to do this show, but some information that came to you, and you decided to talk about a scenario. Well, we ain't really got to talk about the scenario. We can just talk about,
In
uh,
general.
yeah, dating for middle age, because we're all about the same age. Dating for middle age peoples and how it could have its benefits if you meet somebody really, really nice that that has your interest and you like them, they like you, so forth and so on, and then the dating can go to a step further. And then it also has its cons where um the difficulty of dating, difficulties in trust, difficulties in taste. You might never meet somebody that even has your eye enough to even want to go on that date with that person. And then you have the horror story where you go out on the first date, second date, third date, or fourth date, and it's just like disaster, and it's the worst date you ever had. So,
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Shakita, take us away.
So a while ago, I posted I guess a meme in the group that said the date was going good until, and we got so much feedback, and a lot of it was from women, because men, all of the men were acting like they've never been on a bad date. So all of the posts, most of them, the majority of them, I would say 98% of them were from women. But the comments from men I thought was really, really, um, I don't want to say strange. It's almost like it's like they deflect, or they're trying to, like, pretend like, it's almost like they take it personal. So it's almost like somebody, they think that you're talking about them. So every
Hmm.
man's comments were, "What kind of man you meet? I don't even know what kind of men is that. Huh, it's something must be wrong with you if you meet them kind of men." Those men are men, and those men are black men. So it's you, it's you, it's you, your friends, your dads, your sons, your grandfathers, your uncles, your cousins, is you guys. And the problem with these types of conversations is when, as a woman, when you're expressing or telling a story that is horrible, the first thing is, well, something's got to be wrong with you if you're attracting these kind of people. You can't never have a conversation. No one is listening. Nobody wants to, converse about it or want to talk about it or discuss it. Nobody because the problem is you're so desperately trying not to take any ownership because you're saying it's not me, it's not me, you know? And we're telling you that it is you, and it could be your friends, and it could be people that are, around you. And I find that people don't know how to date. People don't know how to date, and they don't know how to respect one another. Um, I had a friend tell me a story about a date she had went on with somebody that she knew, and it was a complete horror story. Like she would have never thought in a million years that he would be that way. He would speak to her that way. He would treat her that way. And I gave Keisha and Quentin a little backstory, and I don't really want to get into it much because I would really like to have her tell a story because it happened to her, and she was definitely really, really upset about it. But it triggered me and it made me say, you know what, I think we should have this conversation. So, like Quentin said, if anybody's listening, if you guys want to call in, please do. If you have any questions or you want to comment, please comment. Quentin is watching the comments. He will have some things to say. But I want to start with, dating could definitely be fun if people could just date and enjoy each other. And what we're finding is that a lot of men, and I'm saying this because I'm a woman, so I can't speak. I don't date women, so I don't know what women do when they go on dates. So please don't say, "Oh, you talking about men." That's what I date. So anyway, I find that men, it's like dating myself, or it's like dating somebody that I know. It's like dating a woman. And it's a lot of I want to go Dutch. It's a lot of I don't really want to date. I just want to get to know you and be your friend. There's no, and I'm not saying that anything is wrong with those things, but the problem is that it's not even true. You don't mean it.
Shakita,
Mhm.
for the audience that may not be as astute that like I was earlier when y'all seen the text, what is Dutch?
Dutch is when you are an active individual, actively dating, you're an actively dating individual, and you are out in the world and you want to romantically date someone, but the agreement is that when you get to the date and you um, and the bill comes, you're going to split the bill. And that's what going Dutch is. And I find that a lot of people, are okay with Dutch. And I hear a lot of women say, "Oh, I don't mind paying half," because it's almost like, and going Dutch. Quentin has never heard of it, but going Dutch is not something new. People have been doing it for eons. I remember my grandmother saying, mentioning that word and saying that word, like, friends go Dutch. I remember she was telling me that when I was young. Friends go Dutch. Somebody who wants to date you and spend time with you won't go Dutch. That's what friends do. So, I was always very familiar with the word Dutch. And to give a little backstory, we also somebody posted I don't know if it was me. Somebody posted in a group last week, and the scenario was a gentleman went on a date with a young woman, and she had a question. She said, "I need some advice. I went on this amazing date with this guy that I thought was amazing. Everything went well. We had wine tasting. We did all this great fun stuff. And then when I spoke to him next, he told me that the next date is on me. I have to pay for the next date. That he does not believe in. He does not believe in investing in the relationship alone, that they both should invest in a relationship." And I guess he meant financially. And that was his stance on it. And there was a lot of comments. And I remember saying, first of all, this is not a relationship, this is dating. And what I'm finding the word Dutch and splitting dates makes me cringe. It makes me cringe. It makes me uncomfortable. I hear people say it all the time, and I know women like it. And men they're more invested in that. They love this Dutch thing they have going on. I can't get with the Dutch, and I can't get with it. Does anybody have anything they want to add
Yeah,
before?
my a friend of mine said, so how are we defining date? Social engagement between two persons that often has romantic connotation.
That's how you define a date?
If you're interested
Or
in me romantically and you think that you possibly may want to have sex with me or be in a relationship with me, then that's a date. And I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for dates.
I don't do Dutch.
I'm not paying for dates. I'm not paying for dates.
I
And I
mean, listen, either I'm paying or you're paying. I'm not splitting. I
Ooh,
don't do
isn't that the
Dutch.
truth? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna split no bill. Just give it to
I'm
me.
not doing that.
Just let me
Not,
pay it.
not I mean with my girlfriends and even that we pay for one another.
Yes.
I'm not doing Dutch.
We
Someone
fight
else,
over the
someone
bill.
else said if it's casual dating, I'll just ask for separate bills.
Oh, was that a man?
I don't know.
Let me look.
But listen, she say let me look. Don't ask me out on a date and then when we get there ask for separate bills. You ask me out.
Yeah, there's no
I
casual
mean,
dating.
See,
I hang out with my friends.
let me tell you, Keita, the reason why when you sent me the text earlier and we decided we were going to do the show, and I went over and over and I kept trying to figure out what is Dutch, and you
That
explained it
makes
to
me
me,
sweat.
is because with all due respect, and I understand that everybody's different, everybody has different values. I have never asked a female to go half with me on a date, let alone half with me on anything. Why? Because if I believe that if I'm interested in a female, either I have enough money to take her out or I don't.
Mm.
And I will gladly tell her. She'd be like, "Well, let's go out." I'll tell her, "Listen, I don't have no money right now. Things a little tight. You want to go out? You want to go to eat? I can cook for you, or I can't go."
but that's
That's
the
Mhm.
just me.
adult thing to do. We living in a generation of clout. And it's not even like the generation, but it's just the people's mindset.
Mm.
It's just like a clout focus. They'll rather say we're gonna split this bill than say I don't have the money.
You know, and I believe I think it has a little bit to do with that, but I think a lot of it has to do with people are projecting their shit on you. And people are being, and when I say people, and again, I'm speaking about men because that's what I date. I feel like a lot of them are being taken advantage of lately. And I think they're putting themselves in situations where they're dating people that they probably have no business dating. And they're probably trying to date above their self-esteem. They're trying to date somebody that's out of their ballpark, and they do that a lot. And when these women don't like you, you feel like you're just dating everything and everybody because you're outreaching for the stars and you
But
want
they go
this
out of their
type of
way to
woman,
impress them.
right? And they want this type of woman, but she doesn't really like you. And
So
then
does
every time you take her out, she just spending your money, spending your money, spending your money. She won't give you no kiss. She won't give you no, she won't have sex with you. She don't answer your calls unless she feels like it. But that's the way you can get her attention. So you're constantly asking her on dates. You get burnt so many times. Now all of a sudden it is, I think we both should invest in a relationship.
so
And it's
the
when you
next
like
statement was
somebody who thinks that hard.
the next statement was, so does the date have to have money spent? Can a date be a free event with
No.
someone cooking for you at their home?
The
Yes.
date can be a free event and you can cook for me in my home after we've established that we like each other and we're going to continue to date. And I think that takes a few dates. Sometimes that takes a few
I,
dates. Sometimes that takes more than a few dates. But I'm personally, because of the things that's happened to me in my life, I'm not comfortable going to a man's house and having him cook for me. And I don't want him in my house cooking and I don't want to cook for him and I don't want to have him
So
in
what
my
if, for example, let's just let's let's just say good evening, Hassan. Salam alaikum, Sheikh. And what just say for an example, right? A guy just most I'll just say me. Y'all know my situation. Y'all know where I live at. I know where y'all live at, right? So
house.
I'm down there and I'm like, Keisha, Shakita, yo, y'all throw something on real quick, yo, we going out. Y'all would presume the way I said this that I'm paying for it, right? Keisha, you on mute.
yes.
You would presume like, okay, we going out. He gonna pay for it because he said we going out, right?
Maybe.
Right.
Now.
No, I would think
If you paid, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would be prepared to pay. I would be
But
prepared.
let me ask you.
yes.
So
You
with that, if I
always
say,
wait, Quentin. You always prepared to pay. That's what our grandmothers and our mothers told us. You always got a little money and you prepared to pay.
So if I says to y'all, listen, dress down, dress up. So you're gonna know, like, okay, if he say dress up, he gotta wear shoes and a jacket. So we going out and we gonna get something. We going out somewhere really nice where he wearing a jacket. So he we got a nice restaurant. If I be like, yo, dress down, yo, we gonna have some fun. We might be dancing or whatever, or
Mhm.
it could be at a picnic, it could be a park, it could be anything. I
Right.
mean,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna ask you. So if see, it's hard because I don't believe in that concept of the Dutch. So it's weird, and I don't want to just be standard. I would want someone that's in the chat that believes in the theory of Dutch, to really comment or even want to join the show, because it's hard for me because I believe that as a man, like, yo, you ask somebody to go out, whether even if it's one of your friends, like, yo, what you doing? Yo, I'm about to come by, scoop you up.
But
We
see,
going out.
I think it all depends on the man, and I think it all depends on his life experiences too, and it depends on how he was taught to date. Because a lot of men are not taught to date. I remember being in the third grade, and I had this little boyfriend. His name was Joseph, and Joseph said that his daddy told
What I
him
do.
that he should buy girls presents. And this was my first gifts that I've ever got from boys. And he was like, my daddy told me that you're always supposed to buy your girlfriend presents. And he brought over all of these beautiful, shiny bracelets. And I literally at that moment knew what
Love
my
language.
love language was gifts. So here I am in the third grade, and
I'm done.
this little boy brought over all of these little shiny bracelets that went all up both my arms. He had tons of. He had one bracelet. He probably had like 15 for each arm. I love that man.
Joey
And as
spoiled
you
you,
can
Keita.
see, yes, and as you can see, I still remember, right? So it all depends. I just think that the concept of Dutch is coming back because I feel like certain men feel like they're being taken advantage of. And I feel like that is spilling over on potential relationships
I
and
agree with that,
friendships
but
that you could have. I
I
don't think that
agree with
these
that.
men are that I don't think that they're cheap. And people be like, oh, they're just cheap. I don't think that I don't think that they're that cheap.
But I also think that it's a subset of women that just
Absolutely.
allow any and everything. And I wanted to make
Absolutely.
a caveat because Shakita said black men. So I've dated international. So I've dated all men. They all got the same damn issue. The
Keisha,
white ones,
what was you saying about them Caucasian men about liking your chocolate self? What was you saying before about
oh
that?
yeah, they like mocha booty.
Yeah, I know.
But
But
it's
I can
me.
only
I
speak
don't
about
like
black men because that's what I
I don't
dated.
like
So,
pork. So so that's what the issue is. So, but yeah, they like mocha booty. But so all men, it's not just black men, but it's like women just
Oh
accept
man.
anything right now.
I call some women the new age women, right? As
Hmm.
times are changing, they are adjusting to everything. And when a man says, oh no, I go Dutch, they be like, that's fine with me. I don't mind. I got my own money. I
But
can pay for my
listen,
own stuff. That's fine.
their grandmamas in them was like that. Y'all got to listen to them songs of the 60s and the 70s. Their grandmamas in them raised them like that. The clean up woman, and then the other one that's getting mad because he out with his girlfriend and not his wife. He can only cheat with her. Like these bird brains, they was instilled with this nonsense. Like that, I don't even understand Dutch.
But I
I
think
don't
that if
understand Dutch.
But I feel like if men were a little bit more, and this is where I can empathize. If a man came to me and said, look, I'm cheap, I don't like to spend a lot of money. Or if a man came to me and said, look, I've been burnt a few times. I just don't want to, go on this elaborate date. So let's just keep it down a little bit, because I like you and I want to take you out, but let's not do $60 steaks. Let's do something a little bit. I can understand that. If a man says, my cash is a little funny, I would love to meet you out for happy hour to get some of them $5 wings and them $5 margaritas, I can feel that. But when you start talking, because I can't understand why any other reasons why these want to go Dutch. If you want to go Dutch, I don't want to go. And I think the same way there are men who say, I want to go Dutch, and people be like, well, he's being honest. You should respect his honesty. When I say I don't want to go Dutch, I think you should respect my honesty too.
A cat just came over here.
I think you should respect my honesty too. And I think you should be like, okay, I shouldn't be getting cursed out because I don't want to go Dutch. I shouldn't be being shamed for not wanting to go Dutch. It should be like, I respect that. Okay.
Keita, someone said Dutch keeps it on a social basis if that's what you want, though. No, we're talking about a date. We're talking about an actual date where it wasn't a social basis, where it was a potential interest.
Right. This is not like going out for drinks with my coworker after work who's cute and think I'm cute and we just gonna run and go and get some drinks and just laugh and chill and bug out. That's not what this is. This is a man who wanted to take me on a date, who's interested in me romantically, and he says that. He just feels as though we both should invest in a relationship. First of all, there's no relationship. But if there was a relationship, we would equally invest. But you asked me out and you're interested in me. I was minding my business. So how do we get here and then you want me to split the bill? You want to take me out and I agreed and you want me to pay. I just don't understand the logic in that. I think you should date. I think if you're into Dutch, when you meet a woman, you should say, do you go Dutch? Is that something that you mind doing? Because that's what I do. So that I can tell you no.
Or it don't.
Somebody that wants to go Dutch. There's plenty of women that like to do that. I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
But here's my thing. Then don't make it a date. It's like you find some commonality. Maybe the woman likes football. So
is that a date?
No. But wait, Quentin, let me say. So like Nunu's and all these different places, when football season comes, the different teams go there, and then you say, oh, well, this is my team. This is where I'm going to be. Right. So free game. So then you say the woman is on her if she goes there and she meets up. So whatever she orders is on her. But don't ask a woman, especially a woman 35 and older. Don't ask a woman on a date and then be like, it's Dutch.
So my good friend said, so what I'm hearing is no romance without finance.
But this is not romance. This is a date. That's it. This is no finance. This is not paying rent. This is not putting money down on the PSC&G. You ain't show up with no flowers. You probably barely got a haircut. You probably don't have on nothing.
Listen, let me tell you. We got young women in the group.
But give me a second, Keisha. I'm sorry. They don't even court anymore. They literally talk to you on the phone.
That's a problem.
They say good morning. They say good afternoon, good night. They ask you a few questions about yourself and they want to go on a date. And you show up empty-handed. There is no finance. You're not doing anything. Nothing.
They don't even show up with the occasional flowers. Like, yo, come on.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking about you. No. While I was getting dressed, I scooped these up at 7-Eleven. Here, take a rose.
No. No, they go on a date with them. They talk you to death. We're
gonna park far so we can get a nice walk in this beautiful breeze.
And they talk you to death. They pick your brain all night long. They suck all of the energy out of you, and they can't wait to plan the next date so that they can talk you to death, suck all the energy out of you, and do it all over again.
So let me ask you, what's a good date? I mean. The Dutch thing just got me. I can't get it out of my head.
It's like, and again, Dutch has been around forever, but Dutch is getting big again. And I think the more people are being taken advantage of, the more men are being taken advantage of, the more they want to go Dutch. And the women who like Dutch and don't mind Dutch, I think a lot of them feel like, I want to show this man that I don't want his money. I want to show this man that I'm okay with paying for myself. I want to show this man that Dutch is not a big deal, so I'm going to do it anyway. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. I'm not.
And all you go home with is a wet ass.
I don't.
But you don't go home with a wet ass. You don't.
I don't want to date anybody
let me ask you
hard about dating me. I just don't.
Keita, let me ask you, because the question came up, right? But the purpose of dating is, okay, you and somebody go out and y'all talking now. 9 out of 10, if he's talking, that's a good thing because most brothers don't be real talkative. But
Right.
if he's talking and y'all talking and it's like a beautiful chemistry in the conversation, would you care if he's talking your head off?
Always.
But you only care if there's no chemistry though.
Let me tell you when I don't care. Let me tell you when I don't care. I care all the time. The same way men don't like women that talk too much, I don't want no men that talk too much either. Like here we are again, right, with the stereotype that all women do is talk, 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 talk. Who wants to hear a man that's talking all the time? I don't. I want the conversation to be give and take. But what I find a lot is that a lot of men don't do any talking. They just do a lot of asking. And men can deny it if they want to, right? But I know some who won't. But what men do when they go on a date with you is they need to find out what are you about and what they can and cannot do, and what you like and what you don't like. And they pull and pull and pull and pull. So most of the conversations are you just giving so much to them all the time. Sometimes it's natural. Sometimes you can get on a line with somebody or go out to dinner and you can sit for hours and you both talk. That's what's up. But a lot of times it's the man trying to find out as much as he possibly can find out about you so that he doesn't fail. So a lot of times when you go out on a date, they're just asking a lot of questions and pulling a lot out of you.
I had I was
I
talking to a
think
friend
that's
of mine.
different from me.
Keisha, hold on one second. I was talking to a friend of mine about the show, and he was telling me the scenario that a young lady told him that guy told her, "Yeah, I'm gonna come pick you and your daughter up to go get ice cream," and they went and got ice cream, and dude got ice cream, and he didn't pay for the young lady and her daughter.
Ooh,
The horror.
And
ooh.
I says to him because we got history, we real close. I says, "Look, I know you're not a liar." I said, "But you sure this person wasn't lying to you?" So then he told me who it was because I know her and her daughter, and I'm just taken aback that it's.
Ice
Don't get me
cream.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. And I
Ice
get it.
And for
cream.
a
I
baby.
get it. I get it. Where dudes may
That
feel
is
like they
that
being
$20?
used, but to keep it 100 of how I am, I feel like if I'm going out on a date with a young lady, or I'm taking somebody out. Let's be honest. Let's say if the bill is $150, right? If she feel like she used me for a $75 date or $100 date, if that's all she felt she was worth, then that's what it is. I don't see how a person that's single, that's into dating, could go out on a date with caution, so to say. If you out, you and the young lady out, and y'all say if y'all got together earlier, and y'all going on a couple dates, y'all go get something to eat, y'all might go to the movies. If you a man and you feel like buying her everything, you feel like be like, yo, I got tickets, I got the date, we going to get something real to eat. I don't think that a a date would make me feel like she using me. I think
But
it would be more of like you said before, Keita, on that second and third date. Now she's talking about, yo, I might get kicked out. I ain't gonna get half of my rent. That's a different story. But $100, $150,
but
like
but you also have to understand. I can see if you took a girl out on a date and she's ignoring all of your phone calls and she's ignoring all of your text messages, and then you, for whatever reason, you still text her and you say, "Hey, what are you doing Friday night? Would you like to go out?" And she go, "Bing, hey, I'm not doing nothing. I want to go out." And you take her out, and then she's ignoring all your calls, she's ignoring all your text messages. I can see you feeling that way. But when you first meet somebody that you're really truly interested in, and your main concern is let's both invest in this date financially, I always feel as though there's an underlying issue there. And whatever that is, I don't want any parts of. I don't want to, I'm not interested in dating somebody that thinks that hard about paying the bill. And for a little context, what made me so mad and wanted to talk about this was that My friend said when the bill came, it was $43.
excuse me. Pardon.
The bill was $43.
Did he take himself out?
Listen though, y'all. Listen, everybody. She drove from her house, which was about 40 minutes. She drove to his house. Then she picked him up because he had a parking sticker, so he didn't want to move. So meanwhile, you couldn't take your parking hook out, put it in her car, and let her park her car, and you drive, because she did just drive you out for 40 minutes. He couldn't do that. That's fine. Okay, fine. She drove. Then she drove from his house in Newark all the way to Jersey City. They go. They hang out. They having a good time. They sit and they eat. The bill was $43. That is $21.50 if I'm not mistaken. And he sat there forever. He even picked up the bill, looked at it, and took out just enough money to pay the $23. And when he asked about going out again, she said, no, thank you. I did not. She felt like she wasn't on a date. She felt like she was hanging out with a homie. And she felt like that's not why I wanted to go out with you. I've always been your friend. So now you want to go out again and you didn't pick the new place for us to go so we can pay Dutch. She was like, I'm just not into that. And it made me uncomfortable and I didn't want to go. And I was like, man, I would have never. Soon as he said, I like to go Dutch, that's what I'm into, I would have said, good luck with that. I hope that works out for you. And that would have just been, when he would have not have understood what I was talking about, I would have said, mm-hmm. So when we going out, I'd have been like, no, never. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And it should be okay. The same way that men want to go Dutch, the same way there are men out there that are like, I would never. Let me say, I don't want to go out with a man who wants to split bills. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that at all. And especially, and for me, it's a little bit more to it. If you're somebody that I'm going to be in a relationship with, what are you going to, and in my relationships, I pay for dates here or there, right? And I'm not used to men who want me to pay for stuff either. Like I've tried, I know you didn't pay for X amount of dates. Let me try to get this date. They'd be like, are you crazy? And that's fine. I don't want, and so I know what I'm dealing with. I don't try to pay. But if I'm dating you for a little while and then we be in a relationship and just say we're going to get married, if all you're going to do is pay for some dates for a couple of years until we get married, just pay for them dates. Pay for them dates. Because as soon as we have to cohabitate and live in the same space, I got to come up with some bills. We're not even doing the same thing no more. We ain't going to be going out on all these dates and doing all of this stuff. You ain't going to be buying all these presents like you used to. You're going to slip into basic living every day and all that stuff is going to stop. So if all you can do is invest in a couple of years, we're going to spend some time together and be dating and do that. Do it.
I got one question, Keita. This for you and Keisha. But Keita, this is basically in reference to what you were saying about the conversation. It says, but what type of conversation are you inspiring, inviting, or able to hold? Political, educational, economic, sports, or is the conversation talking about oneself?
Who is it? Who are they talking about? Me personally?
No, they were basically just saying when you dating somebody and you getting to know somebody.
People talk about all kinds of stuff. What's the point?
I mean, I think the point is, you basically said you ain't beat for all the conversation. You basically
I don't want to have a one-sided conversation, whether it's me talking or you talking. I don't want to have a one-sided conversation. I don't want to be out on no date and somebody is completely draining all of my energy by asking me. I've been on dates with men. They ask me so many questions. I'll be like, why don't you tell me something about you? Stop asking me all these questions about me. Answer your own questions. Before you ask me a question, you answer it and then you turn it around and you say, so tell me, what would you say? Or what would you do? Or how about you? Tell me something about you. And they'll be like, okay. Because how many damn questions can I answer? How many kids you got? Have you ever been married? You been to college? Where did you live? Where'd you go to school? Oh, this person, ask yourself those questions first. Some people don't even know how to have a conversation. They don't even know how to ask you open-ended questions. So it's exhausting to constantly all the time answer questions that are not open-ended because if it's yes or no, then they come up with something else, and they don't know how to stop. They're like a computer. So since Shakita's having how to have a conversation one-on-one right now, when you ask somebody, have they ever been to college? How about I attended Seton Hall from 1985 to 1999. Have you ever attended college?
Well, they was at Seton Hall a long time.
Right, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. I lived in Elizabeth for 10 years, and then I grew up, and then I moved, and I got a job here, there, and then I did this. Tell me something about you before you ask me something about me, so that we can keep the conversation level. Some people you don't even have to do that with. Like I said before, you go out, you sit at the table for 2-3 hours. You don't even realize how much time is going by. And then it's time for you to pack up and go home, and you don't even want to leave. You want to just stay and talk some more. You're ready to go to the next place and order dessert and talk some more. You're just looking for something that's open so that you can just be out and talk and enjoy each other. That's a great date. I'm still not going Dutch, though. I don't get whoever point that was. I'm still not going Dutch. I don't care how many places I'm not going Dutch.
Listen, I don't have those issues that Shakita has, but I'm a good friend. I don't know if I'm a good dater. So
a good friend.
I can listen all day. But my friends and my brothers, they say, come meet me. We going out, and they pay. Right? So a man that's trying to get some cheeks and don't think he's supposed to pay, I don't even understand that scenario.
First of all, my father could take us out to dinner, and he don't care how many people at the table. Don't nobody better not take out no money. Nobody. I mean,
I just don't get it. And I'm gonna give you a good date. I'm a drink for a drink. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you a good conversation. But you know, these women accepting whatever, and these men trying to date outside of their standards. So you know,
maybe, like you said that Shakita, both of y'all said that it's been around for a while, and like maybe it is coming back to have a resurgence with
It is
going Dutch. I mean, I just think it's just like, and I'm not being naive. I have never heard it. Let me tell you something. My grandfather, to this day, he's been battling dementia. If I told him I wanted to take a lady out, and I was going on, and she paying for it, he'll look at me and be like, "What?" I mean, it's just strange to me, but to each his own. I mean, everybody has a different preference.
Here's my thing. I just think that you don't lie. Like if we work together, and it's all types of after work events, especially if you work in corporate America, right? Then you say, just meet me there, right? So then if someone's just meeting you there, then the expectation is I'm paying. But if you ask someone to go, if a man asks, but on the reverse, if I ask a man to go out, if I ask my friends, if I ask you, Quentin, yo, meet me up here, I'm paying. I don't mind that. But you don't ask a lady out on a date and then the expectation is we gonna split this. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand.
But if I ask the man to go out on a date with me, if I say, "Oh, I want to take you out to dinner," I'm paying. Yeah. And even when I say, I want to take you to this restaurant, I like it.
What you laughing at?
Like my friend just said,
I get there to pay the bill, and he's like,
he said,
"What are you gonna do? Pay the tip?" And laugh at me. Like, so I put my stuff away. I'd be like, I said I was gonna pay. We about to fight. It all depends on what kind of men you know too. That's probably
that's true.
My friend said he said that's the slippery slope. Men have to pay to go on a date if they're expecting a kiss or cheeks.
No, you're not kissing. First of all, what date we on? What date we on? Because I don't
No,
care what you pay.
no,
Don't touch me.
I think I understand where he's coming from. To an extent, I mean,
But honestly, with all of that to take to
The
consider,
exchange ain't no robbery.
but to all of but to all of that to consider, you really want you want to go out with a woman that you're not courting, and you want her to be in love with you. I say that all the time. Men always in their feelings when somebody is not in love with them. It's always like, you treat me like this, you treat me like that. You seem like you're standoffish, and like you're guarded, like you got this wall up. I'm just trying to get to know you. And when my male friends to have these conversations with me, they're like, seems like her wall is up. It seems like, I'm not getting to her. And I'm like, it seems like she don't like you. And I tell them all the time, the reason why is, did you bring her flowers? Do you say nice things to her? Do you tell her that she's pretty? Do you tell her that she's beautiful? Do you say things to her that other men don't normally say? And you know what other men say. So think of something else that you can say to her that don't sound like every other man. I don't care if you're not every other man. If you say what they say you are, say something different. Bring her flowers. Send her flowers to her job. If you don't take her on a date this week, send her flowers to her job, because that's how much the date gonna cost you. If you go on a cheap date. So send her flowers to her job. You want her to be in love with you.
Thing.
You want a woman to be in love with you, but you don't want to pay for any dates.
So
I don't understand.
So
where's the courting?
Let me ask you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Date a guy, asks you out. This is coming with expectation, right? Expectation of, we're going out on our first date. I'm interested in him. He's interested in me. Let's see where this could go. Let's see where this could go.
Mm-hmm. This is for romantic reasons.
So him saying Dutch or any of these keywords, he could just destroy the whole date. Or
it's no longer romance.
I'm gonna ask you a question, because we all agree that Dutch is strange to us, and that's as women. If a guy said to y'all from the door, he could be a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he just practices Dutch. Do
Mm-hmm.
y'all think that this would be like, oh, I can't deal with this dude?
I'm not going. I'm not going.
But he checked all the boxes.
I'm not going.
He don't check all the boxes.
Going. That's exactly it. I'm not going. You're nice, but I'm not your type. And this is another thing. Stop trying to date me. Stop trying to change me.
So let me just say,
I don't want to go.
My friend,
like, I'm not trying to change you. I just want you to understand. I understand. I said, no, go find somebody that wants to go Dutch, so you could be happy and you don't have to inflict your bullshit on me.
Julia, you said no Dutch as well, huh?
No. And men don't understand. They don't respect the way they want you to respect them for quote unquote being honest. They don't respect you for the same. I had a guy who got out of a relationship probably just like a couple of months ago. And this was a while ago. He had gotten out of a relationship a couple of months ago. And he was like, I've always liked you. I had known him for years. He was like, I've always liked you. I would love to like go out and spend some time with you. And he would always try to come around me and my friends when we would go out. So here he is asking me on a date. I said to him, well, I know you just got out of a relationship, and I don't want to date you because you just came out of a relationship. Let me know how you feel in 6 months. And he lost his shit. He went off on me because he felt as though, well, I'm not trying to marry you. I said, sir, we're not there. We're right here. And right here, I'm telling you, I don't want to date you. Just like I don't want to date you. There's nothing wrong with you. I just choose not to do this. I don't like men that just come out of relationships. I don't want to date them. And that's my choice. Just like it's my choice not to want to date a man who wants to go Dutch. I want my choices to be respected. The same way I respect you for going Dutch. I don't call you names. I don't say that you thinking too hard about it or you doing too much or, what's wrong with you? Who hurt you? I'm not having those conversations. Don't have them with me. I just said I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to do no Dutch. I'm not interested. No. And I want to save all my love and all my good presents and all my good birthday meals for men who always take good care of me. A man that take good care of me gets rewarded. I want to be with the king. I don't want to be with the jester. I don't want to be with the man who's so worried about being hurt or so worried about who's investing financially into a relationship that didn't even start yet. We didn't even get there yet.
Wait
about that.
We need quitting.
Your wife,
she specifically said she does not date subjects. She only dates kings.
That's right.
Quitting. We need somebody in the background with that thing that says, and I oop.
I don't want to date them.
Keisha, be easy. Stop,
great guys, but you're just not
calling for sound effects, Keisha, because they will
all the time. She need a machine back there.
I said I was going to be in the background and be the machine. Y'all told me no.
Now,
but Keisha, listen, I like nice. I like it. I don't mind inexpensive dates. Okay.
Me either. I love it. You don't even listen to that.
I love. But so like here's my friend, he tells me it was years ago, you keep touching the bill, you gonna pay it. I don't touch the damn bill no more.
See, that's what I'm saying.
So like, I have a permanent friend. So why would I go out with a ninja that wants to pay Dutch? That's a waste of my damn time.
Now one of our subscribers in YouTube said, friend of the show as well, she's in the group, she said going Dutch is about restricting an investment. That's an interesting perspective.
Say it again.
Going Dutch is about restricting an investment.
What does that mean? Like give me a little
I mean, you say you're going Dutch. I mean, if you're going out on a date, you're investing in the person you're dating on.
Right.
I would presume. I mean, if you say, "Oh, I'm gonna go Dutch," the bill $43, so I'm gonna get my $21.50 out. You get your $21.50 out. I'm restricting my investment into the date.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm not fully invested into the date. Like you said, Shakita, if you are interested in somebody, you don't have to be coming in talking about, let's go pick out a house. Let's talk about how many people are going to be in our wedding. But if you're interested in somebody, you shouldn't be restricting on things like that. I mean, the date is a date. I mean, that's like saying, like you said, it could be your dream to go to Tavern on the Green. It could be his dream to go to Tavern on the Green. You could have mentioned it to him. He could be like, all right, I made reservations for us to go to Tavern on the Green. We going. You're going to appreciate that because that's something that has been your dream. Mm-hmm. He ain't going to sit there and make all these reservations and go to Tavern on the Green and be like, oh, we going Dutch.
Right, because for him, it's not about the money. It's about the experience. And he could have easily said, I like Tavern on the Green. And I said, oh my God, I really want to go. I've never been. And he could easily say, for our 1-year anniversary, I promise to take you to Tavern on the Green. And that in itself is romantic. And even if he didn't mean it, it's still a romantic gesture. If your pockets are tight, then you need to be planning $40, $50 dates. You can do that. You know, you can go to happy hours. You can go. Women love tacos. Give me some tacos and margaritas. You know, you can if your pockets are a little slim or you're concerned about being taken advantage of, scale the dates down a little bit and be a little bit more reserved. I've even heard men say, I don't go on expensive dates because I don't want to invest in expensive dates if it's not going to go anywhere. I don't want to invest in these really expensive dates. And I completely understand that. But then there are men who want to take you on a date and they be like, so what do you like? And you could be like, I like cheeseburgers. And instead of him taking you to Fridays, he decides to take you somewhere where they have grass-fed beef and the burgers are $30. So it all depends on what kind of man you're dealing with.
What was you about to say, Keisha?
I forgot.
I mean, if we meet at a bar, say he's like, you know what, let's go meet at the bar at a restaurant. When it comes to drinks, I'm a little different. I feel like if you get the first round, if you open up a tab, I'll open up a tab. You buy a couple of drinks, I buy a couple of drinks. You buy a round, I buy a round.
Not me. Not me.
But you know why I do? I do that kind of stuff with men that I'm leery about. Because if I can control what bill I pay, I can leave when I'm ready and I can say, well, I had a good night. I enjoyed your company. Thank you so much. I'll pay my portion of the bill, even if I bought you a drink and I bought around, I could pay the bill and I could just leave. Dinner sometimes, and that's like, you meet somebody and they want to go out like right away. I like to just meet and have a couple of drinks. But
Right.
dinner and like sitting down and talking, that's for somebody that you've probably been talking to for a little while, and this is your first time going out to dinner. So I think it's different.
I mean, I get it, but if you invite me for drinks, well, maybe not for me, because I'm a drinker. So drinks should be cheaper, right? I mean, I just don't get the whole thing. Like if I like you, and because like I said, I'm an introvert, but I talk in small settings. You guys know I talk a lot to y'all. If you like me and you invite me out on a date, I'm not understanding the Dutch concept. I just don't get it.
Yeah, and I've
And I
never been
think
on
for us at this age, I think women at this age is dating for a purpose. You know, they want to be married, or not me, because I'm out here. My dating is different, but they dating for a purpose. Like they want to be married, they want to be in a committed relationship. They're not with the games. So why would you waste somebody's time talking about this Dutch nonsense? And another thing I wanted to get back to, like, and don't be inviting nobody to no dinner at your house on date number 1,
Ooh,
because that's
me
like you
too.
just trying to get some.
No dates at your house for at least a couple of months. It's not
Yeah, no
appropriate.
dates no
It's
dates
not
at your house.
appropriate.
Like a picnic in a park or go walking on the trail. It's so many ways to do a cute, cheap date if you don't
Yes.
have any money. If you're creative.
Right. A week ago, I posted all of these freebie dates that you could go on. And I remember saying on the thing that I had never had a man take me on a date to do any of these things. And this was the museum, this was the zoo, this was a long walk in the park, this was sit outside and watch the stars, this was go to a drive-in concert, which is new now. With Corona, you don't go to concerts, you do drive-up concerts. So you can watch
Right.
the performers on stage from your car. But just like Montclair University right now, if you book the day before, they have drive-in movies. You can take a person to a drive-in movie at Montclair University. So there was like, there's the botanical gardens. There's all of these cheap or free dates that you can go on. And I've never had a man take me to do any of them. And when they ask you what you like, I literally say all of these things. Every single solitary man to the last one, I say I like all of these things. Literally, I go to the zoo maybe 5 times a year. I go to museums, probably more. And then I travel to go to different museums. I tell these walks, I love walks. I tell these men, that shit go on one end after the other. It's almost like they don't even believe you. So and then they say, well, let's go to dinner, because I feel like that's all they know how to do is take you out to dinner. You give them all of these ideas.
Easy.
Yeah, you give them all of these ideas. They don't listen. What's your favorite kind of food? Well, I love Mexican food. Well, I love ice cream. Well, I love, you say all of these things, and I swear that shit go on one end out the other. So you have opportunities to take women on dates that aren't so expensive. But again, if all you're concerned about is going Dutch, then how do you do that? And especially if you're going out on a date with somebody you really like. If he got dinner, you got the museum. If you go to the movies, maybe you got the snacks. I don't know. But even still, most of the time I'm dating men, they don't even do that. They pay for everything. So I don't know. But
I agree with
anybody that's watching on Facebook, make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button as well. Keita, somebody made a statement. I mean, I don't think they were being malice in the statement. I couldn't see who it is. They said that
Uh-oh.
Keita needs to look for a different type of man, maybe more refined. I just asked it the person who said it because I can't see who said it. Just be more clear with refined. What do you mean refined?
Right, because I can say I do date men who are refined. So when I think refined, I think educated, I think they love culture, I think they dress really well. They might work in corporate or may not. They just could be just all into culture, who knows, right? So they could be blue collar and do all of those things. But you still have to like to do those things on a date. I like to do all of those things in my personal time. Those are like my hobbies. Those are things that I really like to do. So when you have people who don't do those things in their spare time, like when you think about men in general, when they have to go to the zoo, it's because they're taking their kids to the zoo. Men don't realize that here I have my youngest son is 21 years old and he loves the zoo, he loves museums, he loves all of those things. And I have two children. My oldest is older than him. We did all of those things together. My older son don't want to be bothered ever. My younger son, he's as a person, he just likes doing that kind of stuff. That doesn't mean that he's going to want to do that on a date,
I'm
right?
gonna
It
ask you,
could just be what he wants to
Keita.
do in his personal time. People don't think that a lot of people don't think of that as a date.
Keita, let me ask you a question, and I know that this is one of me and you have a hobby that both of us like to do, and I think a lot of people um you can meet a lot of people with the hobby that you have as well as myself, and that's reading.
Mm,
Um, you think that when you tell somebody this and they're interested in you and they're not into it, do you think they're scared to say like, I'm not into that, I don't really do it, like, you know
absolutely.
instead of just saying, see, because I know you can go on Barnes and Noble and be there for 3 4 hours because I could do it. So
Hmm.
it's easy for people that understand the hobbies and have the same understanding to be like, this is what I do.
Right.
For example, you're not really into football like that.
No.
So for a person that can sit there and watch football for 7 hours a day straight, you'll be looking at them like, that's a waste of 7 hours. I could have been
Hmm.
doing other
Anything.
things. I think that a lot of times when dating, people aren't as honest about like, yo, I never did that. I'm not into that.
Right.
I
And
don't
then they
like
don't want
hiking.
to do it. I wanna like I've been wanting to go hiking, right? And I don't have anybody to go with. So I've been wanting to go with my son. This boy has been hiking like 4 times this month. And I'm like, well, dang, who am I gonna go hiking with? I'm gonna go by myself. But he goes with his friends. That's what he likes. Some people just have to want to do that. I like to travel, and I don't even travel the way that quote unquote travel is travel. But I would like to have something to look forward to because I work so much. And then you meet men who have never traveled before, and they're hesitant about traveling. Like when you want to plan a vacation, you just do it. And you mention, oh, I want to go here, I want to do this. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. It sounds good. Ain't making no moves. And it's not because I don't think they want to, but if that's never been a passion or a drive for you, you're just simply not going to do it. But being in a relationship with somebody who travels is important to me. I'm not telling you that we got a backpack in Greenland or Ireland or Finland. I'm simply saying let's take 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, and let's go to Jamaica. Like, what is that to think about? But
I
but
so
you would go
so
on vacation to go watch a football game. Oh, my peoples is playing in Miami. The Miami Dolphins is playing. I'm going to Miami Dolphins, and you down there with a whole plethora of men, and you rather do that. Now, does that mean you want to just hang out with boys all the time and not go on a
ooh,
vacation with your
ooh,
girlfriend? I don't
and
know.
I ooh,
But right, but that's what motivates you. You understand what I'm saying? So I know people who go on music, go to will say, oh, so that was the perfect example. You got this damn trip you want to go on, but it's to watch a football game. You got this trip you're going on, but it's with your homeboys. And I think, and somebody in one of the posts the other day when I was talking about doing things in cheap dates, he had a really, really good point. And he was like, men, and the man said this. He said, some men are just so masculine and they think it's so manly to be like that, where they don't want to do anything that the woman wants to do because it makes them soft or it makes them seem, like they don't have a backbone. So they want to do the opposite of everything you want to do. But if their boys say, let's go away, if your boys say, let's go away, oh, you ready to put your money down? You ready to get your little outfits? You got 5-6 pairs of sneakers. You got all your t-shirts coordinated and all of y'all ready to hang out and be whole men out. But your girlfriend want to go 4 days, 5 days in the sun where she going to be butt naked, smelling like sunshine. You got to think about that. You don't know if you got no money for that. You're not sure if you want to do that.
I don't know too many brothers like that, Keita.
I do. You want to
listen? Listen. I don't have
peach cobbler floating around.
I do.
I don't have that issue. My issue be that I gotta plan it. I want a man to plan some stuff.
Hey, but they're not gonna do
that. But I don't have an issue with. We got to be here at this time. This is what I got to give you. So I don't know. I do think dating at our age can be difficult, and I think that's because
to the museum. They talk about going to the museum, and I've been to that museum, and I've been to that museum too, and I've done this and I've done that, and I'm telling about the museums I've been to. But when we gonna go to one together?
But I don't know. I see. When you put that post up, Keita, I didn't comment. I actually just watched. I think I might have been like following, because I'd be wanting to, like me. I'd be wanting to figure out, because I don't know if, but I don't understand it. I mean, I think that a date.
Women don't either. We be saying the same
I think that a date, even if I was dating and a female says to me, we go on such and such, even if I didn't know anything about it, I would go myself just to try something new.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that a lot of times we're so comfortable with what we do every day that we don't try new stuff.
And then you wonder why your marriages don't work. You wonder why your relationships don't work. Who want to just keep waking up every single day doing the same shit? You get up, you go to work, you come home, you only got 3 to 4 hours before you go back to bed. And to wake up and do it all over again. And then you probably want to have sex. So then so it's the same routine all the time. And we have absolutely nothing to look forward to. Because on the weekends, you don't want to do nothing I want to do, because that's women's stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Unless there's something you want to go do, which is primarily eating. Like jokers, all they want to do is eat. I say that all the time. Men will feed me to death. That's why this Dutch stuff, this stuff I'm not going Dutch, but men love to go out to eat. I've been to the most beautiful, fanciest restaurants. They love all of that.
Because that's the easiest thing to do.
Easy. It's easy. It's so easy. I mean, you know what I've been telling people?
I'm gonna ask. See, it's hard to ask Keita these questions because this show is not about her personally. So we're just. No, I can't ask you that because it's not about Shakita.
You already said it. Just ask me.
It's about Shakita. Half y'all men viewers like Shakita. So, I'm drinking, so I'm gonna put that shit out there.
Just tell me so I can.
Keisha, don't blame it on the alcohol, okay?
But, okay.
Anyway, Keita, would you rather him be spontaneous or plan like a
black man, like I said, spontaneous?
Get dressed. I'll be there at 8:00. Do you have to know where you're going?
No, I don't need that. I don't need that. I just need you to be willing to do things and want to do things. I think it's easier and I'm saying this, and I'm not talking about myself. So I have conversations with my girlfriends all the time. I don't need you to be spontaneous with me because first of all, I don't really like surprises. So just the way you tried to spring a question on me and then say, never mind, I don't like that. So I don't want nobody to tell me we about to go do something, but won't tell me what it is. I need to be in control in that way. So I need to know. So if you're going to surprise me, just do it. Just show up and be like, But anyway, no, I just need you to be receptive to me saying, let's go on vacation. And when I say where and when, all you need to say is, well, how much is the deposit or how much money do you need? And literally give it to me. Like, make it happen. You know, if you really want to go on vacation, follow up. The same way you would follow up with your boy. If your boy say we go on a DR because it's some honeys or whatever men call women, there's some girls or whatever y'all call them there, we go on a DR, do that. It's going to be, there's a cruise, and everybody on a cruise is all our peeps. We got 60 people going on the cruise. We going. I need you to have the same energy when I want to plan to go and do something. And I'm not.
Hey, Julia, I need you to explain your statement a little more. Julia made a statement. She said the only time that I've had any of those issues is when the man was not sure of his level of attraction to me. I need you to explain that more. And someone said, it said,
what issues?
She said that the only time I've had those issues is when the man was not sure of his level of attraction to me. I need you to explain that more,
Dutch.
Julia.
Maybe she's talking about Dutch. Like if he wasn't sure about her, he wanted her to split the bill. I get that.
So somebody, I don't know if I said it, and Keisha said it, or you said it. Somebody said, so black men are not spontaneous.
No. I remember dating a guy. I do think they are. I remember dating a guy who took me on a date like 3 days a week, and I had to tell him, I can't. I'm tired. We went on every 3 days a week. He had me at restaurants I had never been to, and they were all restaurants. He had me all over the place. We going out Thursday. We going out Tuesday. I want you to get dressed. We going out Sunday. I was exhausted. I ain't getting no rest. I couldn't wait for him to slow down. So I do think that they're spontaneous. I simply just said, I don't need you to be spontaneous. I just need you to like to do stuff. That's all. Because I want to do stuff all the time.
Well, she said, Julia said, men who are attracted to you make an effort.
Absolutely.
And Facebook comment directly to you, Keita. It's the Keita show, God. Okay? This is, what does Keita want? I'm confused.
Huh?
That's what they said.
Well, why they concerned?
I don't want to pay for half the bill. That's
somebody said, and you know it's getting kind of late, so people get a little crazy. Somebody said they need educated goons. LOL.
Educated goons.
Educated goons.
Who said that? Oh, he's saying that we need educated goons.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I'm not paying. If the goons don't make you pay for dates, I'll take them. I don't pay for dates. I'm never going to pay for dates. And I'm not interested in paying for dates. And I don't want anybody who I don't particularly need.
Who said the educated? I'm going to have to go charge my phone.
Eric Williams.
The educated?
Eric Williams.
Oh, okay.
I don't need somebody spontaneous. I just need somebody who likes to do stuff. Huh? So
that's what he put on his post.
It's my guy.
When I want when I want to do something and I be like, ooh, because like, all right, I'm about to give y'all a good gem, men, pay attention. The Botanical Gardens in New York, I think it's Brooklyn, Bronx, it's in the Bronx. Every once in a while, they'll have an artist come and display his art right in the midst of the Botanical Gardens. In the evenings, they'll have drinks, band, everything, and you get to walk outside and you see all these beautiful flowers and all this beautiful art. I love that. When I say the Botanical Gardens is about to get busy, I need you to be like, cool, what day we going? Let me mark it in my calendar, and that's it. I don't want to hear no shit. I don't want to hear no.
First of all,
I don't want to do that. Just gonna go.
Corny. It's in the jet.
They corny.
Hey Keisha, you froze, but kid is. Somebody said that and I think that this we may be coming off different. Somebody said we keep talking about money, but that's
the Eric root. Again. We're not talking about money. When we were talking about originally was going Dutch, and who goes Dutch? Why would you go Dutch? And why do we think a lot of men want to go Dutch now? That's coming back in style. We also talked about cheap dates. We posted it right into the group. I posted a list of cheap dates, meaning they were free or they were very low cost or zero cost, no cost at all. So we're not talking about money per se. I literally just said, I don't want to date somebody where money is an issue. And if money is an issue, I need you to be honest with me and tell me that money is an issue. I need you
So
to tell me that you've been burnt before, so you like to keep dates on a, on more of a reasonable side. I need you to tell me if you're cheap, or I need you to tell me, you want to go Dutch. I need you to be honest so I can make my own choices and my own decisions whether I want
someone
to
else
date you.
said, Keita, being equal means you pay half.
Half of what? If you want to take, if you're taking me out on a, that's true. If that was works for you, then you have to find somebody that wants to pay half. You have to find that. You can't change people who don't want to pay half, nor should you shame people who don't want to pay half. So if I ran into a man who says, I like to pay Dutch because I think going half is equal, I would say, okay. And if he asked when we were going out, I would say, I don't want to go out with you. And I would hope that he would respect my decision just like I would respect his. You need to date somebody that wants to go half. I don't want to go half on any dates.
I mean, I need to ask the chat a question. Shakita's perspective about not accepting Dutch and not being into Dutch, which I happen to agree with because this is the way that I was taught. Is that wrong? Does that seem like the woman would be mooching? I don't take it that way. So I need the chat to answer that question. How is it coming off like she wants somebody to take care of? Because it's not coming off that way to me. And I know that's not. She's just saying that if we're going out on a date,
you have to
and
pay.
You're asking for a date, you should be paying for the date. She don't mind paying if she's going out on a 5th date, 6th date, 7th date. She don't mind paying. What she's saying is that she don't want that date to be saying, "Oh, I believe in Dutch," because she doesn't believe in Dutch.
And I think men should date women that they want. So if you want a woman that pays Dutch, you should find one that wants to. I think that's another huge issue. And I know that, he might have missed it earlier on. I said, Keisha said she feels like men are giving us the option or saying, I only want to go Dutch because there are women out there who settle for that. And I don't believe that. I think that there has been a rise in the Dutch dating, and I think it's coming from men, and I think it's because they're getting burned. I think they feel taken advantage of. And I can honestly sympathize with that. But I think a lot of that is your fault. I think if you would stop investing in women who did not like you, you wouldn't find yourself constantly taking out somebody who isn't giving you something back in return. The purpose of taking someone out is to get to know them. You share your energy, they share their energy. And if they don't want to go out with you again, stop trying to entice them with more meals and, spending time with you if they don't want to. Energy and attraction and energy is mutual. If they want to go out with you and spend time with you, they will, and you won't have to force it. And then you won't have to find yourself in situations where you feel like you're getting burned. Nobody should feel like they're getting burnt when they're dating somebody. It should feel mutual. And if that's how you feel, it's because you're dating people who don't like you. When you stop dating people who don't like you and start dating people who are attracted to you and like you, you would feel differently. And I understand that men want these. You want a beautiful woman, you want an intelligent woman, you want somebody that is perfect. But sometimes these women that you want just don't like you, and they do want to just go out and eat. So when do you say, I could tell she doesn't like me? She's not really being receptive. She's not responding to my inboxes. She's not, answering my text messages. She only responds when I say, let's go get something to eat or let's go have a drink. And you still take her anyway. And then here you are on the third dinner. She ain't been talked. She don't have talked to you. She don't give you anything. Like, she doesn't give you anything about herself, but you keep wanting to take her out, hoping that you can break her down. Like, why would you go out with somebody who isn't receptive to you from the door? Now you done got burnt so many times and spent so much damn money. Now it's everybody else's fault that you want to go Dutch. So I think that's my personal reason why I think men want to go Dutch. I think dating would be fun. I think dating would feel good. And I think that people wouldn't have an issue or problem with paying if they felt good about it afterwards.
Well, my personal experience, and Hassan made me laugh when he said that it appears like we're clowning people that go Dutch.
No, not at all.
From a man's perspective, and I don't mean to be funny, I just think it's weird that a man would ever ask a woman to go Dutch. That's just my perspective. We're all entitled to be different, and I respect that. But I will never ask a woman whether it's just a friend or I'm interested in her. Yo, we gonna go half. I think that the whole ideology of it is weird to me. If we going out, we going out. I mean, the
Right.
bill
And
shouldn't even be an issue when the bill come. I mean, I believe that if I may have old school values and I'm okay with that. I just believe that the man should take care of the bill. I mean, I go out with my son and his girlfriend, and my son make good money. I don't expect my son to pay the bill. I'm his father. I'm the man. Like that's just who I am. I mean,
but
that's
like
just
I
me, and everybody's entitled to have their own belief and concept. And I tell my son, it's funny because when I do go out with my son, I always tell him, "Man, you expensive date," but it's expected. I mean, that's just me. Everybody's different. I mean, if that's what you choose to do, if you choose to meet females and you when you meet them, you saying let's go Dutch. That's what you choose. We're just talking about our
right and
perspective and our belief.
right. The way that people say he was being honest, you should respect his honesty. I want mine respected too. Like I could easily like I know plenty of women who don't have issues going Dutch, and I know some, and they're not in the chat. I know them, and I have said to her, and I will say to her, "Girl, if you don't go sit down, like we don't like you sometimes you have to allow a man to be a man. No, no, no. I insist. I insist. I insist. Okay, if that works for you." I have never been in a situation where I was going to force my way into paying a bill because the one time I did that, I embarrassed my date so badly that when it was over, he almost acted like he wasn't going to never talk to me no more. Like we were in the car and he was like, "Don't you ever do that again." He was like, "You really embarrassed me." And I was like, "Well, no, I mean, but he was like, "I don't care. Don't do that anymore." He was like, "You embarrassed me." He's like, "I felt like, people were looking and I felt terrible that I put him in that situation." And he was literally the only man that's ever like really set me down and had to talk. He was like, "I don't, I know you strong and you opinionated and all that other stuff, but don't do that to me no more, ever." And I was like, "I got you." Other men, on the other hand, so when I am in a situation where I want to pay, he'd be like, "What, are you crazy?" I instantly back off. But all of that aside, I'm not interested in going Dutch, but I want that to be respected the same way when a man says, "I want to go Dutch," I want the way you all respect him and say, "Ain't no problem. I don't see nothing wrong with that. See nothing wrong with what I'm saying too." He can go Dutch, just not with me. And I'm honest enough to tell him that.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk here hours about this point. I mean, Shakita happen to agree on this issue. I mean, if y'all want to take Shakita on a date, y'all ain't got to
I
take on
don't
a
want to
date.
go on. I can't
Just
go on no
just
date because nobody gonna try to get me killed. I can't go on no
I
date.
tell y'all what y'all could do. Just order some books and send them to Shakita.
No, I can't go on no dates. I can't go on no dates. I'm booked. I can't go on no dates. I'm all booked up.
Someone asked the question that we had discussed before, Kita.
But
What if the man don't have it, but the woman asked him to go out and insist? I
oh,
had said,
I want him to just be honest. Yeah, just
I had said
if
that
if he
before.
insists, and I've done that too. Like, especially if I really like you, and I'm like, "No, I want to take you to this restaurant. You're gonna love it." Blah 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 blah. And he's like, "No, I don't really have it right now." I'm like, "Oh, I'll pay. It's no big deal. I got it. I take care of this. We've been on plenty of dates. I don't mind paying. That's nothing." Some men will say yes, though, and I know some men will say no. I'd rather wait, but I've done that. That's nothing.
Yeah, I
That's
just think
nothing.
that
Like me saying I don't want to go Dutch does not mean that I'm some cold-hearted, un unempathetic woman who just wants a man to spend all his money. We're not talking about paying no daggone bills. We ain't talking about buying me nothing. We're talking about dates. That's like the base. That's basic. That's the most basic thing you can do. We're talking about some dates. The dates could be $50 dates. The dates could be $200 dates. It doesn't matter. Whatever kind of dates. I don't want to go Dutch. We're not talking about buying me a house and sending me $1,000 bags in the mail. So
And
everybody chill.
and like she explained earlier, if we pay attention, she's tired of dinner. Like it don't have to be
They don't
dinner.
care.
She's speaking into she's tired of dinner. So I mean, some people never really walked around in the park. I mean, and skipped rocks and did all that type of stuff. Maybe that's probably what you got to do.
My girlfriend who went on a bad date the other day, the guy who split the $43 dinner. After he took her for a walk on the water, and they was in Hoboken or Jersey City or somewhere, and they was walking on the water. She said it was so beautiful. We love that. She talked about that. She was so excited. We love that kind of stuff. Like you can add that stuff to the date. You can add a street festival to the date. Like you don't necessarily have to go to dinner. Like it's spring, summertime, fall. Literally from spring to fall, the street festivals all over the place. Take that girl for a walk. That includes your walk. That includes your little snacks, a couple little cheap little wooden bracelets and earrings, and stop somewhere and have some drinks and be done. That's a whole date. That's a whole day. Cheap.
I see an interesting conversation going on in the chat between Abba and Julia about the man, because Julia has said that a man. One second. Her feeling is that a man who specifically asked to go Dutch are not really interested.
I don't think so either.
And Abba said, Julia interested in what? So Julia said, the man who goes Dutch also expects a woman to give more to him as the relationship progresses. Interesting perspectives.
Yeah, it is. It is. That is definitely something to think about, though. Like if he expects you to go Dutch in all of your dates, I mean, could you imagine what kind of man you would be dating?
Well, Shakita, somebody asked the question, and she don't need to start a blood podcast. I don't know what that meant. Somebody said this may be the opportunity for Keita to start a blood podcast to help men to do different things that women like.
Oh, blog. Oh. Well, I don't know. I mean, I have male friends and I talk to them all the time. Especially, and I try to give really unbiased advice, especially when I have male friends that are married. I like to talk to them as if it was me. When they start telling me that my wife seems uninterested and, she always seemed like she got an attitude. I'm always like, well, when was the last time you bought her something? And then sometimes you realize, wow, it's been a long time since I bought her something that was thoughtful, or I bought her something that was nice, or I came home with something that was just for her, and I tell people all the time, it's hard to fall in love with somebody. It's hard to fall in love with somebody when they're not courting you. I know everybody wants to go out and go on dates, and I think the expectation is that women are so single and there are not enough men in the world, and women should be happy to find a single man that's available. I think people see all of that, and then it's like, well, you should just be happy that you're here with me. And I think a lot of men have that mindset too, like, he's the prize, not her. And we feel that we're not the prize when we're on the date. We feel all of that, and then we get a lot of times we're asked tons of questions because the man wants to find out so much about us, and they're not sharing enough about him. So that makes it hard to fall in love. And then there's no real courting process. Where's the courting? Where's the things that all of the things that she told you she liked? Where are they? When are you going to do them? And it makes it difficult for us, to fall in love. So I always try to tell people, like, when was the last time you did something that she liked? Sometimes you just don't. We're not in love with y'all all the time. We don't like you all the time. We want to break up with y'all 2-3 times a week too.
It's like Julia said that a woman sets the standard for how she likes to be treated.
Yeah.
But
if you shamed into that,
Hassan, you asked where Keisha going. She want Dutch, huh? Y'all messing with Keisha right now?
Keisha don't want no Dutch. Keisha's phone probably died.
Keisha's phone probably died. You're right. Abba said you're right. Everyone sets the standards they're willing to accept.
Right, but when a woman has standards, you have to understand that when you have a standard, because right now I'm telling y'all, right, that my standard is I don't want to go Dutch. You know how many people were like, you don't, why is it all about money? And how come you don't want to do this? To be shamed into your standards is crazy. A man can have standards, and that's, oh, I respect him. I respect his standards. Oh, yeah, because, he's a man. But when a woman has a standard, it's always some kind of issue. Like, you don't listen. Like, nobody's talking about money. It's not about the amount of money of the dates. It's just the matter of it's the principle. It's the gesture. It's the part of the courting. It's all of those things. Like when I said, I always tell men, when was the last time you bought your wife a gift? And they said, well, why is that always the first fix? Because sometimes you don't feel special. So I don't want to have sex with you, right? So if I'm not feeling special, the way you equate sex, I don't. So I don't want to have sex.
See what's up with Keita, see what's up with your friend.
Who?
See if she's available now.
Like, people always want the easy way out when it comes to, relationships and fixing things. How come that's always the first thing? Why not? Hello? You still working? Okay. All right, just checking. Yeah. Okay. All right, bye. She's still working.
Someone said when a man says he won't pay for a woman, you don't think he's shamed. Oh, I know he's shamed. If a man cannot pay or hold his weight, I know he has some type of pride where he's humiliated, and he definitely won't tell the woman that he's interested in or the woman that he's with what he's going through financially, because he may have standards or beliefs that he's supposed to take care of everything. Some men, this is what a lot of men have issues with most of the time, where they won't even feel comfortable taking out a woman because 99%, I'm not going to say it's a percentage, but it's a high percentage of women nowadays that are making way more money than they're me if it's a male. So a lot of men may not feel up to standards with how he believes he should be treating a woman. So this issue that we're talking about with this Dutch and us not believing in Dutch, and some people in the chat believing in Dutch, this is not an easy issue to discuss, and this is very normal. I mean, and like you said, it's like it's making a comeback.
Yeah, but you should know who you're trying to make the comeback on. You can go Dutch, do it, but you need to be Dutching women who want to Dutch with you. You can't shame me into Dutching. You can't tell me that there's something wrong with me. Oh, you just want somebody to spend money. Oh, if I pay for dinner, I expect PUSSY, and I want this, I want that. First of all, you're not going to talk to me like that, and you're not going to treat me like that, because I don't want to do what you want me to do. Just like in this chat, I understand you probably have some concerns that somebody who refuses or don't want to go Dutch, might have an ulterior motive. I don't. It is very black and white. I simply am not interested in going Dutch.
Abba, what you did correct me, was not can't pay, won't pay.
Yeah, and if he won't pay, then he needs to find a woman who will do that. Like, come on. Don't be mad at me because I don't want to. And that's nothing wrong with me that I don't want to. Just like maybe there is or maybe there isn't anything wrong with you. But I'm transparent enough to just simply tell you I'm not used to that behavior, and I'm not used to that treatment. And I'm not going to go back on how I've always been treated, and I enjoy being treated simply just to date you. I'm not doing that. And if that hurts your feelings, so I'm sorry, you're going to have to sleep on that. But I'm not going to make up some shit just so that you can feel comfortable and go out with you. I'm not doing that. I'm not.
I like I just said, everybody has different values. Everybody was raised different and look at dating different
and treated different.
I just for me, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. So,
but you see these men, and there's men in the chat who want to go Dutch. They like it. They feel like, they've been invested. They've made bad investments. And, being in a relationship, it's not an investment. It is for you. It is so that you can enjoy yourself. This is not a business deal. This could potentially be your life. This could be somebody you could have a friendship with or a real relationship with. You know, like this is not, if that's how you feel about dating, maybe you shouldn't. Or you should find, could you imagine finding somebody that thinks exactly the way you do? Like, how dare you want to go Dutch and have this, have almost a sinister thought process behind the Dutch process, right? Because your feelings have been hurt. Could you imagine if you met somebody that was just like that? That was like, yeah, I only want to go Dutch because, you know, I put so much money into these men, you know, so I'm not going to put no more money into men. So you want to date me? We both want to split the bill. Imagine dating somebody that's talking just like that. What kind of dating you gonna have?
I'm gonna look at her as she's crazy.
Yeah, what kind of dating you gonna have?
I'm gonna look at her and I, you know how some of us think, I'm gonna be like, oh, she got baggage, she got issues, like because my whole thing is,
woman, she got baggage and got issues. When it's a man, it's why not? Why not? He's paying, it's his money. Why not?
Because I'm gonna be looking like, yo, I got us, like we good, like.
Mhm.
I don't need you to pay for it. I mean, it's like Hassan keep reminding me, it's definitely a preference. And it's just,
Hassan ain't paying for no date. I mean, Hassan ain't going Dutch. Hassan ain't going Dutch on no date. He ain't even that kind of man. Hassan, do you go Dutch?
He's being objective.
I thought so.
He's being objective.
Hassan ain't going on no Dutch. No. Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay. But anyway, hopefully, I'm glad everybody that joined us tonight. We were hoping to have on another two guests. Because she had a date that was a horror show.
That was literally just the other day. Ugh.
And her horror show was the genesis of the show tonight. Hopefully, we'll be able to do the show probably Tuesday if she's not as busy. We appreciate everybody to join us.
Yes, and if we can get it, and if y'all listen, let me see. We got 7 people watching. If there's any men, or if there's a man or a woman, or both, who likes Dutch, doesn't mind Dutch, and want to go Dutch, and want to talk about their Dutchness and their Dutch experiences and how that Dutch works so well for them, come on in. We can invite you in, and you can just be another perspective, because I really would love to know how well Dutch is going for folks.
Yeah. So we'll probably try to do another show about this Tuesday or either Wednesday. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, make sure you like, so you could trigger the algorithm, so more people can see the episode of the show and more people can come to both pages as well. It's a very unique perspective, tonight's show, and I really enjoyed this. Like Shakita said, if anybody wants to come on
out there
and explain their Dutchness, and they they more than welcome to join. All they gotta do is let Shakita know and let myself know they want to come on, and actually we'll purposely do a show for them to explain their Dutchness. So
that's a new word. Dutchness.
With that being said, Shakita, do you have any last words or thoughts?
I absolutely don't. I do. Let me not lie. When there is a person who doesn't, if you ever come across a person who says, I don't want to pay for dates. I'm not interested in paying in dates, and I want a man to pay for dates. Try, if you're a man out there who's been burned or, doesn't like to invest a lot of money in dates right away, try to have an open mind. Don't be so negative. You know what I mean? It's usually, she's not saying that she would never pay for a date for you. She's never going to buy you a present. Nobody's saying that. It's not about the money. It's about the gesture. So don't immediately take offense and think that somebody wants your little coins, because that's not what it's about. When people you want a woman to fall in love with you, you have to think about the courting process. And for her, that's a part of it. And stop dating women who don't like you. When women are not receptive, and when they don't like you, and do not try to get her to like you by asking her out to dinner, because she will probably say yes.
Can you say that again?
Stop dating women who don't like you. If she's not receptive and she's ignoring you and she's short with you, it's because she doesn't like you. And if the minute you say, let's go get something to eat, and she goes, hey, yes, I'm available, you a whole damn fool if you take her. You need to only be dating people who are receptive and like you. And it should only take you one date to find out if somebody likes you. Stop getting played because you done took the same person who don't like you on a date 5 and 6 times because that ain't gonna make her like you.
Like I can't say anything after that. Listen, like we're gonna try to have another show on Tuesday, probably
And bring the
8:30.
Dutchies. Come on in, Dutchies.
Like I
Dutch.
said, invite if you know people that is into Dutch and you're into being a Dutch, a Dutch, you could bring you and your knights into the chat on Tuesday. We're not gonna have a show, but if you want us to have a show on it, or if our guest that was gonna come on the show who had the date from the horror date, if she's available on Tuesday, we'll discuss it on Tuesday. And we can really get into it, and we go into some other stuff about dating, and we're all at that age. So like I said, let Shakita know and let myself know, and then we'll discuss it. Um, and Keisha will be back on Tuesday or whatever we decide. She
Make her
she's not
character.
somewhere she's not somewhere Dutching. Keisha's probably actually watching right now, but her phone have died. So with that, everybody have a blessed night, man, and have a great week. And stay safe. Don't let this COVID and this beautiful weather fool you.
Yeah.
COVID is still out there, y'all. So y'all be safe out there.
Social distance.